Welcome to the Kirsty Meakin YouTube channel! One day I'll have a chair that spins so smooth that it'll just be like seamless. Mm-hmm. Or what we'll do, Adam, we'll get you just spin round me and I'll just sit still.
Oh, brill.
How about that?
Yeah, because there's loads of space here.
So today I've got my cousin in, Roxy, and she's having her nails done because she's going on holiday. So we thought we would bring you along on the journey. She had no idea what she wanted done. Obviously she wanted her nails done, but she didn't know about designs or anything like that. So we've done some swatches, we've gone through colours, we've chosen like a blue ocean kind of theme. And yeah, so we're going to get cracking with the knacking, as Adam says. So Roxy's not been a model before, so what Roxy needs to do is make sure that she's always on camera, because most of the time my head's down and I can't see those screens. So for those of you that don't know, we have like a screen and there's like 4 cameras and we can see what's going on each camera. So it's really important that the model keeps their eye on that.
Camera two, always on camera 2.
Yeah, if you can keep camera 2 is our overhead camera. So yeah, that's if we've got that in shot all the time, then we generally
I can get the rest.
Yeah, Adam can just work his magic with the rest.
Yeah.
So you've got the Chinese hands.
I know, I noticed that.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, do I need to zoom in here? Because it just doesn't feel quite right. It's just, yeah, what's going on?
I know. Tiny.
Very small hands.
How old are you?
14.
And what shoe size are you?
3.
So last night, all I could hear was Cassidy howling, absolutely howling. And I was like, what's up with her, laughing her head off? She was laughing at the size of Roxy's feet. But your mum's only like a size 3, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no hope for you really.
No.
But do you know what's good about having small feet? You always get the bargain basement shoes. So this is like, you've had no nails on for how long?
Since Christmas.
Oh my God, it's
July.
Not really.
No, Roxy's in training,
Yes.
aren't you? She's in training. She's got a little setup at home, haven't you? You've got like your desk and you've got all your products and everything. So yeah, she's got like a little salon set up at home. So she's practicing nails, aren't you? Because going to be the next top nail artist, aren't you, Doc?
Yeah.
She went, yep. So many clients come in the salon like this, like not had nails on for a long time, cuticles are grown down, you know, nails are shiny because look, they get worn and they just naturally get buffed. So this is a perfect example of a client coming into the salon who wants a set of nails. And give me your hands. Turn them over for me. Rub that in. So all nice and clean.
People love your gloves, so I want to know where you get them from.
Amazon's finest. I am going to get black ones though. Do you know why I'm going to get black ones?
Everything in here is pink. And it just blends in.
Somebody said that my gloves look like a male genital area.
What? Eh?
I've got fingers that look like
Oh,
that.
so that's why you want black ones.
Well, it'd be appropriate to because the only reason it says that, look, you've got willy fingers.
Willy fingers!
And I was like, no, I can't unsee that.
But I can't see it, so.
So, but no, the other reason is, do you know when I'm showing you and demonstrating and teaching you all, and you can see the nail. Now, if I had a pink glove in the back, when I've got a pink glove in the background, yes, it looks pretty and everything like that. But if it was black, it'd really show off the shape. the contrast between a black glove and the nail is better for you guys, really. So I am going to get some black ones. So we're going to prep them, and we're going to do it without an electric file, because I know a lot of you out there don't use electric files. So we're going to show you how to do it without an electric file. And yeah, so here we go. You will need a cuticle pusher. So I have got many different cuticle pushers, but I'm going to use this one today, which is the NailGaga tool. So it's got a pusher on one side, and it's also got a little blade under the side, so you can remove any stubborn non-living tissue. Now it's important to not go really low. Some people go really low and then they end up kicking over and going in to the skin here. So you want like a 45-degree angle. Yeah? And we gently gonna push back. You also want to make sure you come right down the side as well. And then with the other side of the tool, you can see now, can you see that that is the true cuticle that's attached to the natural nail? You see that little bit of white here?
Bit of white, though.
Bit of white. So we can tease that off with the blade. Do not press too hard. If you press too hard in this area, you can cause damage. One thing I see a lot of people doing as well is really scraping dead hard, and I think that's not the cuticle that you're scraping away. That's not non-living tissue. That's the nail plate. You're just scraping away the nail plate. So be careful of that. You can see now, I'm not pressing hard. I'm just running it round. And you can see how much of that non-living tissue is coming away. Dust off to check. And I always kind of just re-push that back, just so I know I've got all that push back and I can see the entire nail. So we're going to do this on all the nails. Now, if you don't get rid of that cuticle that's attached to the nail plate, then you're going to run into issues where you could have lifting. So the product won't adhere properly because it's not made to adhere to cuticle. It's developed so it adheres to the actual nail plate. So this part is really important. It's not a stage that you can skip.
Would you say that the majority of lifting problems come from the nail not being prepped properly?
It does play a big factor, but there are other things. So if your room is too warm and the product sets too quickly, that can cause lifting. If it's too cold, you can get crystallization. This is if you're using acrylic. And if you haven't dehydrated the nail enough, then you can have lifting.
So what temperature should it be?
So that sort of nice working temperature is between 17 degrees Celsius and 22 degrees Celsius. As soon as you start getting warmer, so like I noticed the other day, because we had a bit of a heat wave. Yeah, in England we had a heat wave. Wow. I was in my nail room, which is a room that actually gets really hot.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so it gets really hot and the product was just setting like that. So it was too hot, it was too warm.
So 17 degrees in Fahrenheit is 62.6. and 22 degrees in Fahrenheit is 71.6.
If it gets any warmer than that, then yeah, scuppered. But I'd say around that sort of 19, 20 is perfect temperature.
That's a nice and comfortable temperature just to be existing in.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
You're not going to sweat.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to shiver.
And don't forget, like, your client's hand will be hotter if the room is hot as well. So that will make the product set quicker as well. So not only just the actual room temperature, your client will be warmer as well.
If you're getting hot flushes, what do you do with the client then? Do you have to like...
I would just maybe
water on there?
hose pipe.
Sit on this box of ice cubes, love.
Yeah, just do that, mate.
You're messing with the chemistry. So there's chemistry.
It is, yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah, so you've got to have all of the factors in play. Sit on a box of ice.
Some people, if it is, well, it's another thing you can do, if it is really cold, say you've just got to work and it's really cold and the heating hasn't been on, or vice versa, the aircon hasn't been on, yeah, what you can do is you can put a heat pad under your monomer, which will make it slightly warmer, or you can put an ice pack under there as well. They are little things you can do, but I wouldn't rely on that. Get the room up to the right temperature or down to the right temperature. So because we're not using an electric file, there may be some bits of non-living tissue that can be cut. Now it's something that I try to avoid, but when you're not using an e-file, sometimes it's literally the only way you can get rid of any little stragglers. These scissors are, these are the Nailed by Lucy ones, these, aren't they? But there's got the Katie Barnes ones as well. Right, so I'm going to set up my files. I've got a 240 grit file. This is what I would call a normal file with a centreboard. So I'm going to use that for the prep. And I'm also going to set up my file. So this is a metal centreboard. Bet you've not seen one of these before, have you?
I saw it on your YouTube.
Oh, you saw it on my YouTube, okay.
I'm not seeing it.
Not seen it in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a metal centreboard. Yeah. So with this, we're going to set it up with a 150 on one side and we're going to put the 120 buffer on the other side. So it just makes everything nice and clean. COVID friendly, duck, COVID friendly. So peel off the backing, it's just like a big sticker. It's not difficult to do. Lay that down, give it a press, turn it over, let's do the buffer. So it saves you throwing away like a regular file. You can just peel that off and discard that and you keep that metal centreboard. And the thing with the metal one, they're really good for filing on hard surfaces like acrylic, hard gel, acrygel, polygel, okay? But we're gonna prep with this, and when you're using a normal file with a plastic centreboard, you'll need to keep like an old file. I say old, it's new, but we just use it for this. So we're going to take off those sharp edges so you don't cut your client. And we're going to do the same with this.
Oh, you have to do the buffer?
I'm going to do the buffer. It's not, I mean, they aren't that sharp, to be honest, those edges aren't, but
Just in case.
I'm covering my own back. So we've got a lot of shine. We're going to remove the surface shine and also make sure you go right up to that cuticle, because any of that non-living tissue that you might have missed, we can get that off as well. We're not pressing too hard. We're literally just taking off that surface shine. So it creates a bit of a key for the acrylic to sit on and adhere to and have great adhesion. If there's any huge amount of length, we're going to take that down, but there's not really. We just want to leave kind of like a mil or even half a mil, because we're going to sculpt these today. So I'm going to do that on all the nails. Make sure you wrap the file around the contours of the nail as well, because notice that Roxy's nails come quite deep at the side. So they're not super flat. They're flat throughout the middle, but then they actually come quite deep. So you want to wrap that file right around in those side walls.
You want to pull the skin away, let's say?
Yeah, so as I'm doing this, I'm holding the finger in between my thumb and my index finger, and I'm pulling away the skin so I can really get down to those sides. Yeah, vice-like grip, yeah.
She hasn't complained yet, have you?
She hasn't.
Most of them do.
Mm-hmm. Some people hold the finger here and go like this, and look what happens. Wobbly finger!
That looked weird. You don't normally see your finger doing that, do you?
No.
Wobbling side to side.
I'm going to wipe over with the Glitter Armor Nail Prep Spray. This is just going to clean them up, get rid of any bits of dust that haven't come off with the brush. And as I'm doing that, I'm still going to push back the cuticles. Make sure everything's still pushed back. I find a lot of people go like that and then they pull forward and then they end up pulling the skin back down. We want to sort of like really scrub that nail. Push back that skin. So we're going to sculpt today. So with the sculpting forms, these are the new ones as well. So we have these little ears that are cut out, and this is actually, we've made this a little bit bigger as well for ease. And then we're going to pop that center tab underneath. Now if you're doing a long nail, and we're not today, can't believe it. Say we were sculpting phase nails, you would take the center tab out and you would put the center tab over the perforation line, which is there. There is a perforation line here. So there's a perforation line running through here. And if you can't quite see it, I'm going to show you on the other form. And there's even one here as well, right at the contact area, in case somebody's got a really high hypernicum. So that's how you do it for a long nail. And now for a short nail, we're going to take off the length. So we're just going to fold those two like that. Yeah. And then I'll just help us to tear. It's just too sticky.
On gloves,
it's an absolute nightmare. Because they're just so sticky, but you need them to be this sticky because you want them to stick to the client. So, bend, and then we're going to tear through like that to take off that length, because we don't need that. So now we're going to roll the form in between my thumbs. Look how close together my thumbs are as well to get a nice tight curve. and you want a ballerina shape, don't you?
Yeah.
We're doing a short ballerina shape. So what we can do is these two tabs here, we can bring those two together and we can bring this to almost a close. Okay. Right, so we've got it like this. So what you can do now is you can actually hold this part. So we're not sticking to it. I'm going to move it up to that free edge. Get it nice and tight. I want it flat at the back. I'm not going to open the form. The reason I'm not going to open the back of the form here is because I want it to slightly tilt down. So if we look at it from the side view, so can you see how it slightly drops down? And then the product will run straight with the finger on the side wall, like that. And we will come to about here. Because what number would you, if you look at that form now, what number would you go to? Or would you like it to go to?
201.
201? 102? 102?
2.5.
4 then? I'm only joking. So, we'll go to what? So, 1's there, 2's there. I think you can cope with a 2. We'll go to a 2 and then we're going to file. So it'll just drop it down. So you kind of like, you'll end up probably just like a 1.5.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah? Is that fine?
Yep.
You want the form to be nice and tight. You don't want it to sit any wider than the natural nail. So you can see that sits the same width as the natural nail. So we're going to use the Glitter Armour Power Bond Acid Primer. So because it's quite a big brush, you want to drag off the excess. And we're dealing with the tiny fingers. And then just tap and watch it disperse over the nail. So we just need a tiny bit more on there. Done. So we've got Glitter Armour Monomer Premium Adhesive. So that's telling me that it should stick like poo-poo to a blanket. And we're going to use Deep Skin, which is a lovely colour. I'm going to show you. Absolutely love that. So, because we're doing this salon style, I'm not going to pour a clear bead out, because you'll have seen me do that in previous videos. We're going straight for it because we're going for speed application, okay? I'd normally build out like a clear sort of platform. I'm going to pop the bead straight there. I'm going to pat, pat, pat the back. And then, once I've patted the back, because that's kind of to blend it into the natural nail, I'm going to tuck the sides in. And it kind of pushes the product up. I'm just going to slightly flatten that by pressing, but contouring at the same time. So I'm moving the brush like this. So we're extending the nail bed by giving it a nice deep smile. And I'm making sure with my brush it's as neat as I can possibly get it. Then next bead. I'm going to bleed out the back of the brush because I don't want no more monomer flooding into the bead. I'm going to pat at the back, get it nice and clean. Don't flood the cuticle. Then I can pick the finger up a little bit more now. And we're going to pull this product over the top of the previous bead. So we join together. We've already got our apex laid in. We've got a nice brick wall here. You can also use the metal part of the brush when it's really set, just to press any parts that need to be adjusted. Right, so now we've got a load of colours, a load of gorgeous colours. So we've got white, we've got Touch the Sky, loose glitter, so that's got no acrylic in it. We've got an A&A glitter as well, which is called Frozen Creek. I was thinking that said cheek at first, but it's Frozen Creek. I've had frozen cheeks before, and it's been a bit cold, and not these ones. We've got Alice Blue, we've got Blue Angel, and we've got some clear. So I'm actually going to open all of these pots. Ritz is a little bit dangerous. I do get...
If you sneeze.
Roxy would just be like,
Yeah.
blue glitter.
You look like
cheers.
Smurf Ed.
Yeah, a glittery smurf. Come on, give us your nail. So, if I was doing a really long nail, I would definitely build out that clear platform like I do in previous videos. So if you've seen the Faye videos, you've probably seen me do that. So we're going to pick up the darkest colour because I want that to be around this smile line. And I'm kind of like painting it on, just moving it around. And I want it to come quite high. I'm just going to kind of paint that round. The reason I'm going with the darkest colour there is because I want it to stand out. I want the contrast between that smile line to really pop. So we've got that dark colour. Then we're going to put this pale blue towards the edge. Now don't worry about blending too much because the glitter will cover a multitude of sins.
Did that marbalise?
Or
was it because it touched the darker?
I think it did marbalise a little bit, and I think we'll know more when I do like a full nail of it.
Mm.
It did a little bit, kind
I
of.
didn't know whether it was just because it touched the darker or not.
So the pigment did separate a little bit. Right, so I picked up some of that glittered acrylic. I'm going to feed that in very thin, and then I'm also just going to touch with my wet brush into that raw glitter add a little bit of that as well, and then a little tiny bit of this other. And because my brush is damp, it will pick up the glitter, and because we've put glitter acrylic on, it will sit and adhere to that acrylic. And now we're going to cap in clear. And after this video, we need to feed Roxy.
Oh my god.
Oh my Jesus Christ. She is starving. So you can see we've still got a lot of height here. And that's because when I file down and meet the blue, it'll make it extra sharp. So that's why we've done that. Just want to check that we have enough clear on the end. We just want a little bit here. I'm looking down the barrel. I'm checking that all that glitter is covered and it's thick enough, but it's not too thin and it's not too thick. And let's let that set. At this point you could pinch it. As soon as it starts going matte, you could pinch it if you need to. Don't get it wrong, I know in the salon you don't always have time to pinch the nail. So I popped the Samantha pinching tool on. This is from Navy Tools, and actually if you order this at the minute and you use my code, which will be in the description box under discount codes, you get the free hygiene kit. Pretty good, isn't it, that? We all like a freebie. I'm going to cover the liquid up because I am going to file. So it's nice and set. I'm going to take the foam off. Look how sticky we are. We're extra sticky. Yeah, so if you're taking your foam off, don't pull it off this way because you will hurt your client. You want to make sure you pull it down, unfold and pull it down away from the client. So my file, I've got my nice file set up. So I'm going to go underneath, support the nail, and get that side wall nice and straight. As soon as I get nice and close, I'm going to come in with my metal file. And the metal file's super thin, so can you see how much closer it gets? You can see the white powder going further up the nail. That debris goes further up because I'm making more contact with that side. That's Vanessa, but when did you send that? Just... So we're blending in, making sure we haven't got a lip at the back. That's really important. So you can see that I've just gone around that cuticle area. Get the length done. And then, when I'm filing, I'm going to file the sides, and I'm going to keep my file quite flat. I'm going to file this side, and again keeping it quite flat. And then if you turn the finger over, you can see the thickness down the sides. So I can see that this side needs filing a little bit more, because it's ever so slightly thicker on this side. Yeah. And as I look at it from the top, yes, I can see as well it does need a little bit more taking off. So now we've done those sides, then we're going to marry it all together and we're going to reduce the thickness down. We're not going to take off the apex. Make sure you don't file away your apex. Check down the barrel. Now if we do this motion where I'm pulling towards myself, can you see that I'm not actually filing the apex away? The apex should sit in the back third of the nail. And then we can just soften the apex now, bring it all together. Let's have a little look. Double check everything. And I'm using a 150 grit file, I'm not using a 100 grit file, and I definitely am not using an 80 grit file because that is way too coarse. That's for like shaving wood down. Okay, now we can buff over. I'm going to do the cuticle area first. Get nice and smooth. And then I'm going to go over the entire nail. Let's wipe over, give it a nice clean. I do think that pink is a little bit transparent.
Which one?
The pink. And considering how much we built it up. Look how gorgeous the glitters are though. So this is the glitter armor top coat. Pop your hand in the lamp for me. Right, so I'm going to pop some cuticle oil on. Yep, salon, smile line on I'd say average length nail.
I think our viewers would just disagree that that's average. But you know.
I don't think it's not dead long, is
I think
it?
a lot of people would say that that's very long.
It's not long.
Oh, well, we know it's not long.
Oh, it's not. So there you are, guys. That's how to do the prep without an e-file. And how to do a salon style smile line with gorgeous glitters. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. If you've made it to the end, please give us a subscribe if you haven't already, and give us a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video.